Happy Saturday morning, legends. We've got a couple of games to analyse here, and it was the day, well, 2 days of the 300 plus meters. So congrats to Joey Manu and congrats to Jacob Kiraz for the 300 plus. We're in here early this morning. I'm coaching my first game of under 11s for the school that I coach at. So under 11 boys, let's go. I had a training session with them the other day and I absolutely schooled them. So at least know I'm up to under 11 standard. We'll see how they go today. And just another fascinating fact or gratefulness of the day. I was brushing my teeth just before. Have you guys ever thought that, where you turn the tap, you're like, wild. Water just sprays out. What a time. What a time to be alive. Fascinating facts with Jamie on a Saturday morning. Let me know what else you'd like to learn over the next few days. But yeah, this is a great game for fantasy for the most part, I'd say, except unless you're a Hutcho owner like myself. But Josh Adokar with the triple in this one. Shame that the Dogs couldn't get the win, but he was incredible at 87 with his 3-try, 5-line break effort there for 243 meters. And that left-hand side is absolutely humming. So thankfully that Kiraz could run for 12,000 meters because he's not getting the ball down that right-hand side. They have no shape down there. Down the left-hand side, all they're doing is giving these guys early pill, giving Kickow and Burton, even Bronson Sherry, early pill there, and they can go to work. And that's happened for weeks now. So very, very impressive at that. And it does seem to be that the defensive teams at the moment down that right-hand side seem to be struggling. They seem to be giving him way too much space. And then they're running around him anyway. So it's like they're not even coming up and jamming on him for the most part. And then they're giving him all this space to run around them anyway. So not great. Defensively, you gave Warbrick a bath. Unfortunately, so 2 weeks in a row for Will that haven't been great. And I hope that he can sort that out over the next few weeks. But yeah, Adokar at 368 to pick up an 87. Who's got him? 1.9%. He'd be absolutely cheering. And he was getting to that stage where he'd be looking at a buy, but we all have so many dogs that it's hard to select him. 368, he has a much better career average than that, and even a better average at the Dogs, as you saw he went down 76k. Blory, my simple trades for the week without didn't have to look into it too far, was getting rid of Talangi, obviously not playing, and getting rid of Rapner. And it was going to be Angus Crichton and Sean Blaw. So that would have been nice, 61 and 70 apiece. He was great. Again, obviously playing the full 80 in this one with no Jack Howarth coming onto the bench. And, picking up 40 tackles there for one miss with 87 run meters. Great base at that. It's 5 tackle breaks, the offload, and a try. So incredible work. And I imagine a lot of people will look to buy him next week. And I personally would expect somewhere around the high 40s to 50 mark, like going forward, with the chance of some attacks some weeks. You might get a 43 one week, but you might get the 70. So Blory is incredible. And if you did jump on this week, there were a few that did. Congrats to you. That's an incredible score. And a lot of the trade-ins this week, thankfully, have gone well. So that keeps the spirits up for everyone, that's for sure. Bronson, 443 with a 59 in under his belt. So 2 line breaks, 2 try assists, 3 line break assists. Was really, really nice. Obviously with 209 run meters himself. He crushed it in this one, and he'd be looking an interesting pickup come round 9, I think. And that's what we're going to look at with the Dogs at the moment, given they've got one more week next week before the bye in round 8. And we know we're going to have more trouble come that. We've all holding probably 1 or 2 red dots. Hopefully you get like a Piakura back and Galvin next week, obviously. But a few of these guys definitely look like potential buys come that week. Munster actually looked fairly good. Like, he seems to be stepping really good and doing some good things. But so impressed at what the Storm can do. Like, the Dogs played really well in this one. They kind of were all over the Storm. They didn't really pull a trick too much, these the Storm guys, and they still managed to win. So Munster did his thing. Looked similar. I suppose he said he's going to be about 80%. He at least looks that and did really well. Kiraz. So this was the shining light of this game. What I was mentioning before about the 303 meters, none of that was in line breaks, which is absolutely impressive. And when you look at Kiraz over the first 5 rounds, what we've seen is a guy that absolutely just dominated the Titans and was just given some ball because he was in form, he was offloading, they couldn't tackle him. There's a lot of good things in that game. But every other game apart from that, the first few games especially, even up till that Titans game, he wasn't looking for work. And that was my big concern with Kiraz, is that even in a bad team, right, or a team that's losing currently, They actually look really good, the Dogs. I'm impressed by that. We'll finish Carraz and then we'll talk about the game in general. But he looked really good in this game compared to all the other ones. So much better, obviously, just running that footy. Yeah, he had 20-odd runs, 303 run meters. And when you're running the footy that much, and he didn't even crab run. He just ran straight for the most part. He did end up with 6 tackle breaks. He did end up with 2 offloads. If he can do that on a regular basis, then he's going to get 50 on a week-to-week stint. So that's the biggest happiness trigger from this game, is that Carraz was looking like, he wasn't looking like himself. We could usually see him get 40-odd in base with some tackle breaks, with some offloads, and get a 40-odd 50. And we just hadn't seen that yet. We'd only seen the try-scoring, assisting, offloading guy in one game. But great to see it in this second one here. And he becomes a guy that we can hold longer term now. And it was worrying up until this week, but I'm very glad I held. And we'll hold him through the bye now, and we'll go from there. But this game, so Xavier Coates, incredible. He's an incredible player, isn't he? The way that he can put finishes on, the way that he can set up tries, apparently, for that one back on the inside, was very, very good. Dogs down the left-hand side, as we said, but they held their own through the middle, and they'd get through their tackles, they'd get through their runs in the middle, and then get it out to the left. And it's a strategy that that has them looking much more in coherence with each other, and on the same page. And even when Hutcho would get to that left hand side, he would be he'd be first receiver, then they'd get it out to their runners of the footy. Hutcho, unfortunately, not looking anywhere near as good as what he has been in the last few years. Unfortunately, the missed tackles as well has been very gross, and we'll get him now at 19. He made 13, missed 7 today, last night. So that wasn't good enough. 2 offloads, thank goodness, in situations where, it was just junk at that point. So very thankful for those 2 offloads, but 89 run meters, 108 on the kicking side. To have 15 in negatives when you don't get a lot of stats elsewhere. We were talking about him getting sort of a 20-odd in base, and that is nowhere to be seen this year. Like, you look at all his stats, he's a 20-odd in base guy, and that's not happening at all. Like, we thought he'd get somewhere near this in run meters, in the 80-odd, and then we'd net 20 tackles, and he netted -1 tackles in this one, which is just disgusting. So he's my first sell. I have 4 Dogs, so he's going to be the one I sell this week, unless Hughesy gets a bunch of weeks for his tackle. We also have Pap to worry about as well. We'll get to that in a sec. So what do we got? Curran, 54. So 58 minutes for him, playing through the middle. Solid at that front, 35 tackles there. We had 2 tackle breaks and an offload, so a little bit of attack this time, and 156 meters. So solid across the board with only 4 in negatives. He was obviously a good purchase this week. He's going to make some money. I think he'll continue in this role, and he should be able to get somewhere near that point a minute across this next little period. But obviously a buy in round 8, be aware of that, and go from there. Dual position, good stuff. Harry Grant, 52. Man, this is a frustrating game at the moment, owning Harry Grant. Yes, it's a 54 average. It's not too far below what we bought him for. They had a buy in there as well, so you're hoping for an increase on his average, not a decrease. And just the errors that he's coming up with at certain times is just not good enough. So, I think it will turn around eventually. He'll get a try assist. He'll get a try at some point. But at the moment, he's just, little runs at certain points. He's an error man, and he's tackling his heart out. And that's what we're getting from Grant. It's not the worst in the world, obviously 52, but it's frustrating compared to what we expect from Harry. When Reece Robson has like 6 try assists already or something crazy, Grant can't even get close to 1. So tough times for owners of Grant. Thankfully, he hasn't had a concussion or HIA missing time or a little bit of a niggle or anything like that. Like, he's been available, which is great, but the scoring hasn't been there that much for Haz. What about Big Alec McDonald getting 52? Get in there, son. Kick out 50. Incredible. How does he not get any line breaks? He has 3 line break assists for Adokar or for Bronson. But he was just doing most of the work early, wasn't he? Like, they get in the pill and he'd run away. But only 100 meters gained is crazy. So he looks like he should be getting like 80 every week at the moment, and is rolling away with an average of 40.5 across the first 6 games for him. Pappenhausen, he got the sin bin along with Hughes, so it was a fun little moment there. I had 2 out of my 6 players get sin bin, so it was good at the same time, basically too. But 48 for Paps, it's a better score. We were hoping for more, but we're also hoping for more from the Hoping both for more for the Storm there in this one. So a little bit frustrating, but take the 48 when it comes. I think the next few weeks will be more fun games. Hopefully, he had a little bit of a hip drop tackle as well. That I think is what people are concerned about, him missing time. Hopefully, all is good. But then a sin bin for a professional foul, a little bit of a push off. It looks like it must be just so hard to in the heat of the moment to pull the arms away and just run through. The funny thing was that he was actually ahead of him, and he's faster than pretty much anyone he comes up against, Pap. So yeah, strange that's the first thought that you have is the push off. So yeah, but a great try at the start. Good running of the footy. Would have got a 50 odd. Maybe more, maybe got 60. So if we got 60, it would have been absolute cheering. 48 still good at his price. Liero is still scoring well, 46. You got King, Welch, Reed Marnie, 44. So a little bit of a low one for him. He had 3 errors and 3 missed tackles. So yeah, that was the only downside for Reedy, who's been scoring really well. If you bought him this week, a little bit frustrating, but he'll be fine longer term. It looks like the way that he's not missing 1,000 tackles like he was. Burton, 42, a little bit of a lower one, but lovely try assist there as well. James Salmon, really happy with him. Really glad that we can get the full 80 out of him on the edge, not in the centres and the like, where he can actually make some tackles, and pretty decent tackle technique for the most part. He seems to come in as a second man and hit under the hit around the hips, under the ribs there, which is good, or even around the legs. So yeah, a bit safer for him to not get that push off missed tackle that we see, but he doesn't have a lot in attack, does he? When he runs the footy, it just doesn't seem very damaging at all. He seems to be their defensive style of back rower that they're going to use, and then they've got Kikau on the other side. Husey, I ended up bringing him in Supercoach, and he dropped that ball at the back end there. How did they not? Oh no, they didn't give him the penalty the error because it was error from the other team first. But yeah, he dropped that ball. He could have almost run away and scored, so I was a bit frustrated with that. But 40 here in fantasy after him and Ellie Katoa. Obviously owned Ellie in Supercoach last week as well. So they both had a bit of a low one. Thankfully, a couple of line breaks for Jerome, and he's in everything, but just wasn't clicking at all for their attack in this game, with the Dogs kind of putting on a bit of a show down his side as well. So missing a bunch of tackles. Xavier, we spoke about his big efforts. Ellie Katoa, just a low one for him. I haven't seen a mid-30s game from Ellie in a long time without injury, and 31 tackles, 4 misses into 62 run meters is pretty gross. So expect a bounce back from him over the next few weeks, but not a good one here, that's for sure. We got Remus Smith. Sam Hughes, 32. He played 42 minutes. He came on only for a couple of minutes after he got the sin bin, so coach wasn't happy with that, obviously, or he just wanted to keep his regular rotation. But 42 minutes. We'll take the 32 to the bank. Would you loop him? Good chance, I suppose, if you've got 18. You'll take a 32 over a couple of players there. Not every player. If you want to risk it as well, you can go a bit longer with someone else. But yeah, Crichton, 31. Played in the centres, guys. So Tracy went back to fullback. Not that it helped Tracy too much. Tacklebot Terps is back. He did miss 4 though, so and an error on his first catch of the game, so that was tough. But welcome back, Tacklebot Terps in the 13 role. Connor Tracy, 25. He had the try saver in there and 8 kick defusals, and a little bit of running, but they did look pretty good with him at the back and Crichton at centre. Wild though that they're not even going to go to that right hand side with Stephen Crichton and Carraz. They just, anytime they did as well, there was no shape about it. And I think that's a better defensive side for the Storm, it seems, obviously, or just the way that they left space on that right hand side was wild. I don't know what teams are doing. They're just getting cut short every single play down one side. They look like they're going to make a break or score every time down one side, and then the other side looks like they're way too bunched and there's not even a Skerrick room. Like, as soon as it gets to that right hand side, there was 5 guys on 3 attackers almost, and then the other side, it looked like it was 4 on 2 every time. So teams got to sort out their defensive structures, that's for sure. Hayward, welcome to him, 21. Warbrick, 19. Hutcho, 19. We spoke about him. Not happy. He's first sell for me, for whichever of the cheapies that goes well this week. And Katoga there. And Patolo. So 15 minutes for Patolo. Katonga. 13 minutes for him. And he didn't take minutes off Salmon. So that was big. He came on for Hayward at the end there. So that was that. We go to the Broncos and the Dolphins side. So I didn't own any players in this game. But Carrigan, wow. Bloke had 30 tackles and 130 meters at half time with 2 tackle breaks for 47. He's incredible. He's absolutely incredible, and he doubled down this week and went from 62 to 74. So if you own him, I'm jealous. You're absolutely flying. If you captained him, I really hope that Nico Hines goes a lot better because we need it. That's for sure. Us Nico Hines buyers this week. Carrigan captainers, you're in the happy place. That's for sure. 46 tackles, 3 tackle breaks, an offload, a turnover tackle, and 209 meters. You're incredible. Selwyn, 2 tries for him, no line breaks out of that, but 8 tackle breaks, 200 run meters. Incredible efforts on his front. 600k. So you're getting a 64 out of that. Really, really good numbers there. The other option I was looking at when I was like, oh, I need a mid. Oh, who are the mids I can buy under 550k? Oh, no one. They're all pretty yuck, except for Xavier Willison at 311k. He was the buy of the week at 56 in 43 minutes. So it does look like he's earning some minutes in this pack, and he really should because he is a gun. 6 tackle breaks, 181 meters in his 43 minutes of game time. He was the buy this week, and well done if you did. That's for sure. Well done if you did. There are a lot of people that do own him, 31%. So a lot of teams that started with him and have kept him this whole time. So good stuff. I think he was 32 before this week. So people sold? I'm not sure. So yeah, he's an interesting one. Obviously with Payne Haas coming back, it says likely sort of round 8. So probably get one more really good minutes week before they change from there. But I do think he's ahead of some of the other forwards in my opinion. We've got Kenny. Big line break from him and a try assist. Good stuff, Kenny. 54 on his front. Ricky getting through that ankle issue. He just gave him a spell at the end because of of the week that he had. So good stuff for him to still get 52. It's funny how it works. Hey, you can have carrying a bit of an injury and you score better than the last 4 weeks combined. Hilarious. Nichols 51. A couple of good carries as well. 170 meters. Aiken another 49. So if you grabbed him this week, good stuff. Taking that 50 average to the bank, that's for sure. Zaya Katoa. Dolphins were pretty good in this game, didn't they, in the first half? And then they absolutely just fell away. It was a bit of a shocking performance, and they kind of cleaned it up in the last 15 to 20. But, yeah, not great. Not great at the beginning of that second half, that's for sure. But he had, Aiken, I said, Isaiah Katoa, 48. He's doing good things for anyone who brought him in. That's about it. Just hold. No one buy him. Now that he'll be like 500k. Madden 45, Nicarima 44. He played obviously a lot of this game at fullback with Hammer going down, which we'll get to at the end of this vid. You had Nicarima, Marshall King 43. Yeah, just not doing it this year, is he? So just keep him out of your sights. If you own him still, it's a hold at this point, but no one buy him for sure. Jensen 40, Hetherington 42, all just solid. You're holding Jensen if that's the case. Bostock got that try at the end, and geez, that Arthur's, he puts a little, that I still can't get over that rule. Like, he puts a little bit of a hand on Jesse Arthur's. Like, you get burnt on the outside, right? And you go, oh, I've got to chase him. Put a little bit of a hand on someone. If they stuff up trying to score it, he tried to put it down and drop it. It was nothing to do with Bostock. You get 9 points, probably 10 with a tackle for the most part. So it's still a wild rule. But you can put someone through the best hole ever and get 2 points. Come on. Sort it out next year. Really need to sort it out. That's my opinion. Anyway, Walters. Anyway, Bostock 39, happy days. Hold him. If you played him, great. In that front. Oates, Walshy. What else we got? Walshy for 34. Yeah, solid at that. That's for sure. What else we got? It's Walshy. Sorry, I was in another world thinking of the looping Bostock for my girlfriend's team. We ended up popping it down in switch, had looped Salmon, and then we'll take Bostock out, and he was looking good, obviously at 20 odd before that final try, so I think we can actually loop him as well, which will be fun. So yeah, see what happens there. Anyway, she brought in Walsh as well, Walsh back into the team, and got a try, 4 goals there. Sounds like he wasn't happy with that headgear on at all, but 3 errors. He didn't look himself, to be honest, especially in that first half. He wasn't getting involved, and to only have 46 kick meters after he'd been really heavily involved in that, in the kicking meter side. Hopefully that turns around over the next few weeks for those that did decide to jump back on. But now it's 2 low scores in a row, and he'll be closer to 600k after this one. And looms as a buy eventually, but Origin is looming as well. So that's that. All right, what else we got? Won't be able to go through Supercoach today, guys. I've got to head off pretty quickly once I get this out. Man 34, for those that own, it's fine. Oates still 35 with the tough game that he had for the most part. He got to try 3 line breaks in that front. But first half was pretty tough. Baker 33. I think Willison's ahead at this point, guys, just to give you a bit of context on what I was thinking with the Willison one, which is good. Still probably 30-odd minutes for Willison when Haas comes back. Hunt came off after 66. Not a great score, and this shows that we've seen the scores that he can provide. And in 80 minutes, in 60-odd minutes, even worse, obviously. Tessie New for 26. Sako with an awesome try. Wow, that one at the end. The fake kick, throw the ball up, step on the inside, step back out. He's so electric on his feet. Incredible work. Arthur's with 16, so that was a shocker on their front. I do think that Bronx will be better, but he did butcher that one try. So why would you go down that side again? No, I'm kidding. Averillo with 9. So he actually looked solid for the most part at the start of this game, like some good runs and then just nothing for the rest of the game, which can happen for the Averillo. I don't know how you can get 5 tackles, 3 misses, and 66 run meters in an 80-minute game. Obviously, he got moved around, but yeah, not good. And then Josh Kerr, 23 minutes in this one. 5 missed tackles in that time and 3 inside 10. So yeah, I'd probably hook him as well. In this game, obviously not his best at all. He's been good outside of that. Milford played 60 minutes. He had Sailor with 17, both for 6. And then Hammer with a 5 in 20 minutes. So very, very upsetting for owners of Hammer. He's highly owned at 24%. And has been scoring super well, making 95k, and it's a hamstring issue now and leading into Origin. Obviously, with 5 more games to go, he probably misses the next couple, and then he has the worst bye schedule the Dolphins do, so he has to be sold, unfortunately. So that's that video, guys. Thanks so much for being here for that one and for listening to my stupidity with my fascinating fact number 1 that you can't believe that you turn a nozzle, turn a tap, and water just spurts out. It's great. One of life's great things. You jump in the shower, turn it on, there's water there. It's great. There you go. Grateful Saturdays, apparently, is what we're going with today. So thanks for being here for this one, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow morning.